peeps. You're listening to She's My Cherry Pie, the baking podcast from the Cherry Bombe Podcast Network. I'm your host, Jessie Sheehan. I'm a baker, recipe developer, and author of 4 baking books, including Snackable Bakes. In each episode, I hang out with some of the sweetest bakers around and take a deep dive into their signature bakes. Today's episode is a little different than our usual format, and I have 2 very special guests joining me, Christiani and Sam Tutty. They are the stars of the Broadway musical Two Strangers Carry a Cake Across New York. I recently saw the show with Cherry Bombe founder Carrie Diamond, and let me tell you, peeps, if you're in New York, you have to see it. Sam stars as Dougal, an Englishman who flies to New York to attend his estranged father's wedding. Christiani stars as Robin, the sister of the bride, who picks Dougal up at the airport. He tags along while Robin picks up the wedding cake. It's hilarious, joyful, moving, and it was an absolute treat to be able to discuss it with its stars. As a recovering actress myself, I loved chatting with Christiani and Sam about the show, their journey to Broadway, and just how hard it is to make it, and how once you have, how you never stop worrying it might all be taken away. We also talk about their favorite desserts in the city, Sam's favorite birthday cake as a kid, and Christiani's favorite Thanksgiving cake. Spoiler alert, it's red velvet, yum. The show's partnership with Magnolia Bakery, and the bakery-themed song and music video that Christiani created a few years back, and more. We'll get to my interview in just a second, but first, check out this clip from the play.
New York, I'm already talking the talk.
So where you headed, by the way?
New York, baby, I'm already popping the cork, 'cause I'm ready. Are you ready for me in New York?
This is the place where you can come and watch the city on Saturday night. Taxi!
Are you sure?
You have one night in New York, Dougal. Let's do this.
Just follow my stride. Just follow my stride.
I'm Bonnie,
I'm Bonnie,
you're
Bonnie, you're Clyde. New York, bring the east in your ride. On the American, on the American Express.
Are you always like this?
You'll get used to it.
Hi, everyone. This is Carrie Diamond, host of Radio Cherry Bombe. Some quick housekeeping. On Galentine's Day and Valentine's Day, we are doing a special Bomb Squad Bazaar at Shopify in Soho. On Galentine's Day, February 13th, our 3 cover stars are doing a panel with me, and good friends Natasha Pickowitz and Annie Shee will be in conversation. Then on Valentine's Day, we've got a panel with some of the guys we love, including Peter Sam and Wolde Reyes, and I'll be interviewing Padma Lakshmi of the new show America's Culinary Cup, which debuts in March. So you can spend Valentine's Day with me and Padma. Everybody will be doing book signings, and we've got lots of great female-founded food and lifestyle brands there that you can check out, including Bixby Chocolate, Cardellina, Amber Waves Farm, and Marshall's Hot Sauce. For tickets and more details, visit cherrybombe.com or get the link in our show notes.
Let's chat with today's guests. Christiani and Sam, so excited to have you both on She's My Cherry Pie and to chat about the Broadway hit, Two Strangers Carry a Cake Across New York.
Thank you for having us.
Of course. And of course, you know, obviously, it's that subtitle, especially the word cake. I adored the play, saw it last week, still so fresh in my mind. And being a recovering actor, I don't go to the theater that often. It's weird to go. I'm sure you guys can sort of, like, it's weird when you don't do it anymore to do it.
Yes.
But after seeing the play, I got re-excited about going to the theater. Anyway, Sam,
That's good.
you have been playing the character of Dougal for forever, i.e. in England, as well as here in the States. And I hope I'm attributing this correctly to you, but I've read that you've described it as a play about 2 unimportant people, which I love. Can you unpack that and also sort of describe the play for us?
Yes, of course. So firstly, just to start off with the play, it's sort of it only surrounds 2 people, Dougal and Robin. Dougal being en route to New York to go to his estranged father's wedding, where he is met at the airport by Robin, picking him up, who is the sister of the bride. And as sort of, you know, their adventures go on and continue through 48 hours in New York and see what they get up to. It's lovely to play simple, probable people that, you know, when I say simple, I don't mean in a derogatory way, just sort of like believable that they exist. There's probably someone you know that is a Robin or a Dougal. And that's the truest form of acting, I think, in my opinion. Like, playing heightened characters is so fun, obviously. But I think when you just become just a plausible, flawed, unimportant person, and I think the industry is so fantastic because you can go and see a show about somebody who's literally changing the world, you know, and then, you know, if you go the next day, you can see us. We're just two idiots just trying to find out who we are in the world. We're trying to find who we are, who we want to be, rather than who we should be. And I think that's then when we meet each other, it becomes flipped. And it's a really fun adventure, and it's a really funny show with a lot of deep humor, but a lot of deep sort of traumatic things happening at them at the same time. It's really fun.
And so much intense human connection.
Yeah.
I do want to talk about the fact that it is like this tennis match, and it's just the two of you on stage. The person I saw the play with, Carrie Diamond, who's the founder of Cherry Bombe, she didn't even know that when the play started. And I was like, no one else is ever going to be on the stage. It's just the two of them, and it's incredible.
Yeah.
It's incredible. I have a couple of questions about the London run of the show, but I just wanted to ask you, Christiani, had you heard of the show? Like, did you know this was a hit in England?
This is our favorite show. So she's known about it. You've known about it since it came out.
Yeah. I have heard
You're
about
a fan.
it.
You've been fangirling.
God, super fan. In fact, I put myself in the audition room. No, I'm just playing. Can you imagine? I hadn't heard of it, which is just a shame, because the second I did hear about it, I read a little bit of the script and then I listened to the music.
Yeah.
And I was like obsessed. I was like, oh, this is my immediate reaction, especially after reading the script, was like, this is different.
Yeah.
It's just very different.
It feels that way.
Yeah.
When you, as a audience member.
Yes.
Yeah. What was the experience like of playing the role of Robin in the American version of the play, knowing that, like, I keep wanting to call you Dougal. Knowing that Sam...
I'm quite membered out, so actually, you know, it's about time.
You are Dougal, but I'll do right now. Yeah. Christiani's being too nice to be.
Yes.
Robin would be much meaner to me if she was meeting me for the first time. But what was that experience like? Sort of, did you want to see? I'm sure there's versions you can watch of that. Like, did you want to see the other actress play the part? Did you want to keep your distance?
I mean, that's such a good question. I think from what I heard, I didn't see much, but listening to the album, I was just obsessed. And one thing that is so beautiful is I knew that we were very different, which is wonderful, because then you know that you don't feel the pressure of recreating.
Yeah.
You just feel the pressure of expanding and building upon what someone beautifully constructed. So that was my thing. I didn't really see anything, but I heard, and I was like, oh, this is just, I can't wait to play around with this. By the time I got to the script, it was so full and fleshed out and beautiful, and I'm sure to do with what they developed, obviously, in London. And so I just felt like I was able to then build upon what was already there and then bring things that I think are true to an American, true to a Black woman, true to a Black woman from Flatbush, and just keep cracking down and making things super, super specific. That was so much fun. Yeah. Because also our creatives were so open to it. They had no egos about something that I may say, like, I don't really know if I would say it like that, or what, you know, things that I'm sure most writers are like, please.
Yeah.
Please.
Just say my
just
words.
say the words. You know, they were so open to it. It was like such a privilege. It really was.
So were you guys almost workshopping it in London? Is that what Christiani's referring to, or it was done?
No, it was done.
It was done.
So, you know, each time we did it, I said yes to this job. It was 6 weeks in a beautiful theatre called The Kiln in North London, Kilburn, and it was meant to be 6 weeks just over Christmas, and that was going to be it. We extended, and I was like, oh, okay, this is being received sort of record-breakingly well. And then producers picked it up. We took it to the West End a few months later for 6 months.
And forgive me for my ignorance, is the West End sort of your equivalent of Broadway?
Yes, yeah. Then we were done, and that was it, and that was the show over. And then a few months later, I got a call from my agent saying there is talks of it potentially going to Boston and then New York. Are you interested? And I was like, of course. That'd be crazy to say no. And then I met Christiani in the audition.
I was going to ask, did they have you read with all the Robins?
Yes.
Or sing with all the Robins?
Could do some little joke or whatever, but no, it was remarkable. She was remarkable. And it was just sort of like, that's exactly, when she came into the room, it was like, please say yes to this job. Yeah. Because we know we're going to give it to you.
Honey, I have
we're
a
hungry.
So
I'm in the middle of compliments.
I know. And my son was like, cut it out.
Yeah, her stomach's like, please.
Wow.
Yeah, no, so it was fantastic. It's been a real journey for this show. And the fact that we're on Broadway now, for me particularly, is ridiculous because I never auditioned for this. I never expected this to happen. It feels remarkable to me. I feel remarkably lucky. I'm very, very lucky that, that that I haven't done really any heavy lifting other than just work through the show and just do my job. I haven't had to sort of like go into a room full of people, and desperately can see so closely that Broadway is just in my sight. I've sort of been very, very lucky, and I am not going to beat around the bush about that. I'm very aware that I haven't had any much stakes other than my first audition back in 23 for a small run, but it was just really fun. And so my entire experience with the show has just been fun.
Incredible.
Which is like a real gift in this industry,
I think it's so interesting that people have described the play, maybe even you guys, as a love letter to New York, which New Yorkers you relate to when you watch it. But so it's interesting to me that it was successful in like that it didn't almost matter that it's a love letter to a city that maybe the audience had been to, but that wasn't necessarily there. It speaks to the power of the play that it doesn't really matter, even though when you see it with a New York audience, and I'm sure you guys recognize that, people are like, oh my God.
Yes, it's heightened on another level. Yeah, it really is. It really is.
There are things I remember he's talked about it beautifully, but sitting in our first sort of previews here in New York and ready to like do our work and play our show and having to like realize that things are landing in a way here that didn't land in Boston or didn't land in the UK maybe. And we're having to just sit with the audience is like also a character. You know, you were there and you can just really feel the energy and feel people on the journey with us. So we can wait for them and listen to them. And it's really, it's so cool.
Magic. That's so cool.
But that's the benefit you get when you're in a two-hander. Your relationship with the audience is heightened to another level. It's essentially the same as if it was just a one-man, one-woman show. Do you know what I mean? There's just no space for you to sort of leave.
Yeah.
So you're, unless it's, a 2.5 minute, 3 minute solo from one of us, that's sort of our only breaks. And then you really develop a specific relationship with the audience throughout the weeks, and you sort of can tell, this audience is really going to love this joke in Act 2, just from how they're feeling, or vice versa, or no,
I love that idea. It's really a 3-person play, and then the third person is like everyone there, who also you can feel it. I'm sure you guys feel it every night, but everybody's rooting for you. Everybody loves you. Everybody loves the story. It's just like it's such a balm for this time. Let's take a quick break, and we'll be right back. Calling all print lovers, did you know Cherry Bombe has a magazine? It's a true keepsake printed on lush, thick paper and filled with inspiring stories and essays, delicious recipes, and beautiful full-color photography. The latest issue is out now, and it's all about cake. There are 3 different covers which feature some of New York City's coolest cake artists. Lucy Front de Ferrière of Magnolia Bakery in the East Village, Amy Yip of Yip Studio, and Amy France. You don't want to miss this issue, so head to cherrybombe.com to get your copy. And while you're there, sign up for an annual subscription so you never miss an issue. Our next issue drops on Galentine's Day, and it has a very special theme. I can't say too much just yet, but trust me, you're going to love it. Now back to our guest. Christiani, can you tell us how cake features in the play?
So Robin's sister, Melissa, is getting married. Very bougie, over-the-top wedding. But she's having a baker from their neighborhood that they grew up in bake the cake, which I think is like very special. But then she sends me to pick it up. And I have to bring that cake from Flatbush all the way back to Midtown Manhattan. And he comes with me. Dougal comes with me. And we take an Uber. We don't take the train with the cake. We do not take the train. We take the train to get the cake. Then we take an Uber. And then I don't want to, no spoilers, right, about said cake, but it's very chaotic. The cake smells really good, I would assume, because
I smell it all.
It's representative of a lot more, but there is an actual physical cake in the show.
Yeah.
Sort of.
And I know all the flavors, but I don't know if we're not supposed to tell people what the flavors
Ooh,
are.
I think we can.
Yeah.
So there's chiffon.
Yes.
There's genoise. There's coconut, which I was really excited about, and then chocolate.
Yes.
Yes.
And do you think...
Or pistachios as well.
Is there pistachio?
Yes, pistachio white chocolate, yes.
Are we supposed to imagine, because it's like several boxes,
Right.
that those are all going to, like, there's a round in each one, and they're going to get put into a tier at the event.
Exactly.
And also, just you said the word Uber, and then it makes me think of Dougal when he's so excited by the Uber because he's never been in an Uber before. I mean,
Country
hilarious.
bumpkin.
Hilarious. I love that moment. I also did want to say, so I used to live in Fort Greene, which is a neighborhood in Brooklyn, and on Fulton Street, wasn't Flatbush, but on Fulton in Fort Greene, there was a bakery called Cake Man Raven that made the most, they're up in Harlem now, they left Fort Greene, but they made the most incredible red velvet cake. And that's what I was picturing when you guys were talking about, like, well, not you guys, but when Dougal and Robin are talking about, like, going around, they're going to Cake Man Raven. I can't believe it.
Oh, I wish.
And I know that you, red velvet's your favorite. So maybe that's a good segue. So tell me about that. Does that mean like birthday parties when Christiani was little, always getting red velvet? Does it mean like more of a grown-up love?
It's a little kid love, but it's from Thanksgiving, actually. So my Aunt Pat, she was the youngest of my mother and her sisters. She used to make it from scratch every Thanksgiving. It just wasn't Thanksgiving if she didn't bring it. And you always had to get your piece early because it was going to be gone. It was just such
cream cheese frosting.
Oh my goodness,
Yeah.
cream cheese frosting.
Yum.
She put some sort of nuts. Again, I don't know what they were because I was a kid, but it was
incredible.
Oh,
were the nut? I bet it was pecans,
probably,
or pecans.
Probably.
I'm always like saying it wrong. Pecans.
And we're Southern, so I think
exactly. I think it's pecans, and maybe it was like over the frosting.
Oh,
yeah.
My goodness,
so
it was
good.
It was easily the best thing I've ever had.
Oh
So then I just loved red velvet.
Yeah,
and one of my favorite things though is like trying it in different places. Never quite tastes like hers. It's always good. And my aunt, she passed away years ago, and so it just became a thing about like, who's gonna make it this year?
Do you have her recipe?
No. So it's just a concept for like trying to recreate. But my cousin might, her daughter might. I should ask. But it's like my ultimate comfort. Like dessert, I got to get it every chance I can.
Love. And I know you guys are kind of working with Magnolia. There's a partnership with Magnolia Bakery. And actually, she calls herself the CBO, the Chief Baking Officer of that company.
Yes.
Bobby Lloyd was a guest on the podcast.
Whoa. Hey, Bobby.
But I know, do you get there? Have you tried their red velvet? It's good, right?
Yeah.
It's really good.
That's pretty good.
It's really good.
There's a part. What's the celebration party one? There's like a confetti cake.
That was good too.
There's
That
like
was
vanilla
real
with sprinkles.
That nearly put me in a coma. I ate it so quickly. I nearly passed out.
I'm almost
it was
like,
incredible.
this never happens, but I almost want to start swearing because I'm so excited.
Yeah.
Right.
Like I want to say blank cake.
Yes.
Like so good.
Effing good. Yeah,
Yeah, exactly.
It was crazy.
The red velvet cupcakes too.
So good.
Warm?
Those cupcakes are crazy. They're
Are
the
they
perfect
just like
size.
giving you guys cake all the time?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh! Like just
not
sending
without
it?
some sort of work beforehand.
Yeah.
Right.
We have got to do a little bit of rep.
Yeah.
We
rep
do
in
have
the
to do a
show.
little something.
Yeah, and then you get
it.
And I heard you love the banana pudding.
Oh my god!
And I need to ask, is there even anything like that in England?
No.
Because you guys say pudding and you just mean dessert.
Yeah, pudding is just sort of a dessert in general.
When
right?
we say pudding, we mean
It's
this
a
sort
type
of like
of-
soft, cold,
yes.
No,
it's not
custard.
a thing in the UK.
Yeah.
It really isn't. Like, even the cakes here, there's a celebration of cake, I think, here that happens in the US that does not really exist in the UK.
Yeah.
We're sort of eating jellied eel and I don't know, baked beans and that's sort of it, really. I'm just spreading that rumor now. But no, my eyes have been really opened up to dessert here. The banana pudding is
incredible.
Unbelievable.
I've had it.
Did you not love it?
I don't like banana pudding. But I remember thinking like for banana
pudding, it's pretty good.
Yeah.
Are you not a banana person?
No.
Low in potassium.
I know, I got to get it up.
Yeah, cramping all the
those
time.
levels.
No, it was some of that. It was amazing. The first time I had it, it was in the Grand Central Station.
Yeah.
And we sat there. I just couldn't believe how good it was. I just couldn't believe it. I actually couldn't believe it. This stuff. Also, what I will say is because I know this stuff I'm only going to be able to have this stuff for a finite amount of time. So I just can't. It feels, even though I'm eating it, it feels so far away still because this is just such a rare thing.
A moment in time, a special moment, a sweet moment in time.
Sweet moment.
What about you, Sam? Birthdays? Were there like I'm assuming you guys have cake birthdays?
Yeah.
Or maybe
So
not?
any UK listeners out there, European listeners, will probably know Colin the Caterpillar, Marks and Spencer's, which is a very posh brand of food. grocery shopping, but they do a Colin the Caterpillar. And it's essentially, all it is sort of like a chocolate log.
Yeah. Like a roulade. The cake is laid out, you put whipped cream and then you roll it up.
It's essentially like that,
Yeah, like a jelly roll or
But then it's shaped into sort of a long caterpillar, and it has like a hard milk chocolate shell. That's like, and then it has like little, Smarties. Yeah. Smarties and things like that on the top, and like white chocolate for eyes decorations. And basically that's my sort of, for maybe about 17 consecutive years of me being on planet Earth, I had that cake.
Is that typical for kids wanting the caterpillar cake?
Absolutely. And like teens and adults. Any self-respecting adult will still go for the Colin the Caterpillar. It's remarkable. Honestly, it just reminds me of where I used to go for my birthday parties. Yeah. It was really cool. It was called Homebush Farm. It was this lovely, like, just farm with animals and like a playpen and like, it was lovely. And I just remember every year for like genuinely many, many years in a row, just having that cake with all my friends when we were like 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, like pure childhood joy.
Yeah.
It was amazing.
That.
It was amazing.
Can't you imagine like little
I
Sam,
can.
like with his caterpillar?
I was the same height back then as well.
I could
He was big, Sam.
Same shoes now.
Same shoes, same height.
Relax.
What about an early baking memory, Christiani? Like something either that someone in your family baked or that you like loved at a store near where you lived, anything. Something like that you remember from being little. And it could be ice cream. I mean, anything sweet.
Something that's jumping in my mind is holiday, Christmas specifically. Yeah. My mom we would go to the grocery store, we'd buy the cookies that are like already, all you gotta do is pop them in the oven, cookies. She would buy them in the sheet so that we would have to then cut them out and like place them on and we just really felt like we were like
bakers.
We felt like it was like the real deal.
And
then she would eat them, when we were asleep.
Yeah.
So just my memory is like, I have been cooking for Santa since I was like 5 years old.
Yeah.
I love my cookies. And this past Christmas, I've done it with my daughter every year. It's her third year and her first like real New York Christmas and like being aware of Christmas. And we baked the cookies the night before. Yeah. And I ate them. And when she woke up, you just watched it settle like,
oh my
God. It was real.
He was here.
He ate my like she was like her mind was blown. And that's baking because we do it together. So she thinks that she's she's rolling the dough and they're pretty. I could just watch her feel like very in control. Yeah, and very like I'm baking and and Sandy gonna eat my. It was just
that is
very
so
special,
cool and cute. I remember taking the cookies and eating them or whatever, and then like making crumbs and putting them on the floor and be like, Santa is so messy, guys.
Yes.
I'm so sorry.
Yes.
He is a slob. Look at the crumbs.
He's got to eat them quick, hasn't he?
Exactly. Yeah, he was in a rush. We had to get to the next house.
He's got another 7 billion.
Yeah, exactly.
Good. I'm going to do the crumbs next time.
I know, that's good, right? What about food in general? Like, was it I hate that expression, like foodie. But like, would you say food was a really important part of your family?
Yes, still is. Yeah. Yes. My grandmother was an incredible cook, my maternal grandmother. Yeah. My mom is a wonderful cook. There's this dish that I really want to like research because I don't know if it's definitely culturally specific. Yeah. But I think it might be Southern Black culture as well. But it's called flour bread. If there's any listeners who know what this is, I'd love for you to like message you, let you know. Yeah. But it feels old. It feels like I really want to know what it's rooted in because it really is flour, bread, water, and maybe some sort of, I don't know how to make it. I have to learn, but I bring that up to say that like that's one of those things where it's been in my family a long time. Yeah. And smelling my grandma cook it, smelling my mom cook it, like I have to learn how to cook it. But the food and cooking has always been like a very big thing in my family. It's where we all convene in the kitchen. As a teenager and as a young adult, my mom would cook in the kitchen and me and my siblings wouldn't be in the kitchen with her, but we'd be right outside talking to her to like give her space. But it was just like where we all convened. Yeah. Yeah. Oh. Yeah. It's always been really family oriented.
What about you, Sam? Like an early besides caterpillars?
Yes.
Early baking. It could be baking or eating baking memory.
I'm really proud of my family that eating at the dinner table, sort of a low bar, but it's been such like we've never had to sort of fight to do that. My mum has never had to be like phones down, something like that. I don't know. Like I remember throughout my childhood, like we just chat. Mm-hmm. And I'm really proud. I'm really relieved that that's been my experience.
And it was just you and your brother and your mom?
And my mum, yeah. So I was really pleased that we still had that. My mum, when it comes to baking, She won't mind me saying this. I've had better cakes, honestly. My mum...
How dare he?
Nah, you'll have to try one because honestly, like she made a Victoria sponge and it looked like a chocolate cake. So how does that even work? But we have them, and hey, honestly, sometimes she pulls it out of the bag. But my mum loves baking. She gets into a mood. She's like, "Oh, Sam, all I've been doing is baking all day." Yeah. And I'm like, "Oh, great!
I'm so glad I made a
No, but honestly, it's lovely. But our family friend, she is a remarkable baker. Big up Ali Pacey. Hello. Those cakes are honestly like, it's almost like if you could blindfold me and put me like in loads of cakes, I would know which one is hers. It was a very, very charitable person that I will always remember, like coming just at the doorstep, just from school, just in a biscuit tin, like a cake, just for no reason. Yeah,
perfect neighbor.
And then exactly. Yeah. And it always is a good moment when you're having a cake. I've never had like a horrible experience, and I'm really sad eating a cake. So I sort of like cakes in general, something that I really hold dear to me because all the time is a positive memory. But I would definitely say that food. I mean, when me and my brother were kids, we would get him from school. It'd be like 4:00 in the afternoon, and we'd be starving.
Yeah.
So it would be right there, boom, on the and we would just inhale it, and then have seconds, and then have cereal in the evening because we would just eat at our house and home. So those are when I think to food, I think of those memories, like having dinner at like barely step foot through the door.
Yeah,
and it's
so
like
hungry,
spaghetti bolognese is literally on the table. It's like, gone.
I have two boys, and they're older now, but I can.
You remember those?
100%.
Yeah.
Literally, they come in and you're like, "What is wrong with you? Why are you so
ravenous?
Hungry? Yeah. Like it doesn't make any sense.
Like they haven't eaten. You're like, I know.
Yeah, I know.
You're gonna make me look bad.
I know there were snacks. I'm pretty sure you cannot possibly be this hungry.
Right. You just made me think of something too, Sam. Just another memory I want to share. You could choose to not eat, but
no.
When you said the spaghetti, me and my sister used to do this thing for my mom called Mommy Day, where she would be off at work. Then we would come home from school, clean up the house, right? Run her bath water.
She's making this up to look good. There's no way a child will actually do this.
You can ask my mom and ask Brittany, pour her wine, right?
Yeah.
Oh, we would just go in, make a little signs, Happy Mommy Day, like go in.
God, honey.
I would take the dish rag, put it over my arm.
Yeah.
I'm giving butt.
Bonjour.
Literally. And Brittany, so anyways, we would do all of that and she would just relax. And while she was bathing, me and my sister would, with the leftover spaghetti, would do a spaghetti eating contest. Hands behind our back, boom, like face in, no hands. And she would always beat me. And it took me becoming an adult to be like, girl, you were so much bigger than me.
Right.
Of course she's beating you.
I had no concept. I was like, God, Trey, put it
Yeah.
in.
Do I need to go to school for spaghetti?
Literally, what am I doing wrong?
Yeah.
So shout out to Mommy Day and the spaghetti
Big up
eating
Mommy Day.
contest. That's
Also,
like a core.
can we also just say shout out to spaghetti bolognese? Like spaghetti and meatballs is literally my favorite food, but I will take bolognese.
Yes.
Like all of it.
Absolutely.
Favorite.
Yeah.
All right. So besides caterpillars and spaghetti
Mummy
eating,
days and what
this
have
is
you.
so interesting, but maybe you guys will tell me that this is true of everyone you work with professionally, but it's interesting to me that both of you started sort of acting and singing when you were little.
Mm-hmm.
Like you were, what do you call them? The Beavers that are like the equivalent of our Boy Scouts? Is that right?
Yes.
I just learned something.
Yeah, I was in the Beavers, then I was in Cubs, and then I was in Scouts, and then I was an Explorer.
But you were already
so
kind of performing.
we didn't chat to any girls for about the first 17 years of my life. I didn't know what a woman was.
Well, you're doing a great job with us.
Well, there we go. No, lucky me now. Yeah, I was a Beaver, Cub, Scout, Explorer.
And then, but didn't that involve some acting?
Yeah, absolutely did. It was something called the Gang Show, where we were. Stop at Beavers. You know, they're like, okay, I'm a teenager now. I want to be cool. Like, no, not me. I'm going to learn about ropes and fire.
What age was the Explorer? I'm just
16, 17. Horrendous. No, it was a good time. It was a good time. It was a good time.
Do you credit the Beavers with your love of acting
I genuinely
and
do.
singing?
So in the Beavers, so we did something. We did something called the Gang Show, which is at our local theatre. We would put on really old, ancient sort of folklore scenes, and that's when I realised I was dressed up as a little policeman, and I was trying to find my mum in the audience. And there's a DVD, and I could show you. It's a DVD of us, and I'm trying to find my mum. And I remember that's when I really, looking back, I was like, I was so comfortable on a stage, and that's definitely the foot in the door to me realising that I really, really wanted to perform. Yeah. And I was like 3. I loved acting, but then I sort of fell off of it.
Oh, you did?
When I was a teenager, when I fell off of Explorers and I realised, hang on, maybe there's more to this world than whatever we were doing in there.
Fire and rope.
Exactly, yeah, because I loved it. And then I really wanted to get into sports. I was really into running. I wanted to be like an athlete, and I had no desire anymore. And then started realising I got really good grades at my GCSEs, which is our sort of exams in the UK.
Is that like high school for us?
It is, yeah. So yeah. So that's just the years before our university, your college. I was getting really good grades, and I sort of fell back in love with it and remembered my experiences when I was a child, and I was like, and it all sort of like came together.
It's funny, I read that about, I think you had done really well in your acting classes.
Yes,
which is so funny to me that it was like...
but I was having, at the same time, I was having fun. So I was like,
this is cool.
I've always had to work, you know, to get good grades. This is just me naturally just enjoy it. And I think that's what was part of the good grades, that I was confident out there. So
I want to talk about your parents too, really supportive, where your mom was like,
my mom literally
whatever you want to do.
My mom is the main reason why I'm in this position now, 100%. You know, not to get too deep into it, but when I went to drama school for 3 years, you know, after I finished high school. And, you know, she would get up half an hour earlier than she needed to, because I needed to be on a train at 6:30 in the morning. And she didn't need to be at work until 8:30. So, and she would pick me up and take me there.
Amazing.
And literally, would feed me when I get in. And, you know, all to her is like, well, that's what being a mother is. I appreciate that. But it also, she went above and beyond to sort of support me in that time. And, you know, when I was doing my auditions I did a show called Dear Evan Hansen, you know, she was very much like, just, you know, I kept getting recalls, and she'd be like, just relax. We have no idea what was going on. Because I was like, me as being a child, I was like, oh, this job is mine. Yeah. They called me back once. Yeah. And I was like, they love me. They love me. And my mum would be really good at just being like, just remember, like, his perspective. So I 100% would say that,
And same with you, right? Your mom and dad were both really supportive.
Yeah, they were so supportive. I think they saw very early that I took it very seriously. And so they did all the things. My mom did all the little scams that we thought were going to get me to Disney Channel.
You know,
and then I actually lived in New Jersey, and my dad was very good about saying, like, this is a scam, so we're going to pivot this way, and we're going to do that, and it became like real. I think I started working as an actor when I was 10, so like I was able to, at a young age, see that, like, yes, this is fun, but like, this is a real thing. Like, this is a business. And they both supported me very beautifully in that way. Like, always creative, but also knowing how to, like, watch out for myself and be safe. And they were like, I mean, similar to what Sam was. I definitely wouldn't be doing this if it wasn't for their support.
That's incredible. And then was there like a moment when you were 8, you just found yourself singing all the time? Like, how did it kind of, if there were no beavers for you?
There was no beaver, but there was a cow. There was a cow.
What is that?
I was doing the nativity scene at my church, and I played cow number 5 and number 3. How dare I? Cow number 3. And it was my first time having like a costume outside of Halloween. Because my mom knew I loved dress up. But this was a costume. There was like lights. I would just never forget it. And so anyways, I got my little costume. The nativity play was 3 days later. And I was just OD with the costume. I was in my room. I had no lines. But I was like rehearsing. I was like trying to find bits with the tail. Like, I took it so serious. And when I did the nativity thing, and I'm count number 3, nobody is looking at me. You know what I mean? There's Mary. There's Joseph. You can't even see me. And I just was like, I felt like I have made...
I've arrived.
Yes, like my spirit... I still have journal entries about this moment. Like, it was transformative for me. Anyway.
Transformative?
It was. I felt so validated. Grief. Okay, Mr. Beaver. Okay. Me and my cow.
The exploring beaver.
The exploring beaver. But that literally was my bug.
Yeah.
That's when I was like, oh.
Yeah, I got it.
I was in the little classes, the theater show. I did everything after that.
Love.
Yeah.
Tell us about the song Buttercup and the video, because it's all, you're like a baker, like you're working at a sweet shop.
Yes.
And the cover with the pie.
Yeah. I was walking down the street one day and that melody came to my head. Yeah. And then something, take a slice if you like it. That lyric came to my head. And then I was like, oh, and I just wrote a whole song about using bakery and I mean, using baking as like an innuendo for some other thing.
Yes.
And it got further and further and further because, you know, everything is sweet and it just kind of blew up in that way where I was like, okay, I can use this to talk about this and that, talk about that. And the place that I filmed it in is an ice cream shop in Atlanta called Jake's Ice Cream that my mom works at, and they've since expanded. But I got this they do cooking classes there. They just let me like play. And it was amazing because I'm not a great baker. I really enjoy baking.
Yeah.
But it was nice to like pretend like I was like a 1950s
I love the whole theme.
Thank you.
Yeah.
It was fun.
It was so great. And I love that picture of the pie on your lap.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So good.
thank you.
So good. You were so cute, Sam. You just said like, oh, this play called Evan Hansen. But will you tell us about that experience?
Yeah,
and
of
that's
course.
like, that was your moment.
Yeah.
Or the beginning of the moment.
Well, no,
the moment is still happening.
No, that's it. That's why I'm so grateful for this show because I thought my moment was done. You know,
yeah, that must be so hard.
Yeah,
like
it
that
was
feeling.
terrifying. It really was. And, you know, I sort of look back on my experience in the industry so far and I've really made it by the skin of my teeth.
Yeah.
I really have. Like, my drama school auditions were horrendous. I didn't get any. And then at the last second, something came along to do a 1-year scholarship to be in a drama school. And I only did 1 year. And then I re-auditioned for the same drama school I just spent a year doing. So, like, all of these things are happening. And I did a student/open audition. So it was like any students who were in the third year or first year of industry. So like third years at drama school or first year graduating could come to a specific audition, and I queued for like 8 hours outside and I didn't get it. And then months later, got an agent. My agent put up for me in a closed audition. And then I did 13 of them. 2 of them were in New York, 3 of them, I can't remember now.
Was that the first time the play was performed not in the United States?
Yes. Well, they did a run in Canada as well. Yeah, well, this was the original West End London cast. And then I got offered the alternate, so I was going to do it twice a week. And then a few weeks later, the producer called me up and said, would you like to be the main Evan? And I was like, nah. And, you know, obviously I was like, I would cried. So, yeah. And then I finished that. You know, I speak about it candidly because I think it's, you know, if I, as a student and as a, you know, an upcoming actor back then, I'd like people who I listen to be honest about their experiences. Yep. And I think I finished Evan Hansen and I literally was like, I sat down and I just looked at my phone and I was like, ready for it to ring. And literally was like, I can't wait. When's the next email going to come in for a straight offer? Yeah. Nothing did. No one was, you know, we were just out of COVID, you know, barely, you know, we're struggling now, let alone like 4 years ago. Yeah. And nothing came along. And then I went into like a job center to get help with money because I couldn't afford my rent anymore. Yeah. And then this job came along and I was like, well, it's, you know, I was really expecting to get just constantly original, you know, West End, classy, massive A-lister cast, you know, and then I did this and I was like, it just brought me back down to earth and it brought me into a realism. But then this is the gift that just keeps on giving because it's given me a new sense of, you know, of love for the industry because I thought I put my soul into that show, into Evan Hansen, and I didn't really see anything from it.
Well,
other than the Olivier
Award.
The Olivier was great, but then even that, I was like, I'm an Olivier Award winner. Where's the sort of benefit? I wasn't seeing any sort of like, when's the offer? I'll bring it. If you hire me, you're going to bring an Olivier Award winner. And, you know, that didn't happen. So this show is like giving me like a second wind. Do you know what I mean? Of like, I'm still here. You know what I mean? I'm still...
Well, I only did it for about 6 years, I guess, professionally, but it just beats you down. It's such a cliche, but you should not do it unless it's the only thing you can do. Mm-hmm. And I realized maybe I could do other things, so I did. Mm-hmm. But that experience of yours, I mean, can you relate to...
Oh, my goodness, yes. Yeah. Oh, my goodness, yes.
Like, what a way... I have too much empathy, but I'm just like, oh, my God, poor Sam, poor
No.
Even though you guys are killing
literally,
that. But you know what I mean?
But that's the industry as well. The industry isn't all the success, it's the failures as well. You know what I mean? It's like, you know, you don't see everyone who's just been nominated for an Oscars today where they got rejected or where they failed or where they were really struggling financially, emotionally. You know, you don't see all of that. You just see what you're allowed to see. And everyone listening will just hear me having a... you're listening to me because I'm on Broadway right now. Well, I've not always been on Broadway. You know, I've been desperate and, you know, feeling very alone and very stressed and embarrassed, you know, very embarrassed and ashamed. Of
course, because people want to know what you're doing
exactly.
next.
And then I literally say, well, haha, nothing, you know, and it's really, and you get into your head and you become this villain to yourself. And I think it's really important to have perspective that, you know, we are not here because we've just been like offered everything under the sun all the time. You know, we've had to work. There are people who auditioned for Dougal and auditioned for Robin and didn't get it. You know, and that's just that's the way that it is. And it's brutal.
I find all of this so, and obviously I'm older than you guys, but still that feeling of, am I going to be redundant? Is it going to be how long till there's this new flavor? And like you want to be really supportive of everybody. And, you guys are so young and you want to be supportive of all your people and send good like karma and energy into the world about what other people. But the struggle is real.
It is.
All of that stuff. I think particularly when it's about putting yourself, it's you guys.
Right.
And my job is a little bit different. I'm a cookbook writer and the podcast host, but still when you have to be the face.
And they reject you, it's like, how can you not take it personally?
Yeah, it's
then
very
when you're
different.
on the other end of the table, you can sort of understand it. I think it's like it is literally not you.
Yeah.
It's this other thing that you can't control that is perfect for something else. And it's easy to say that, but to feel the rejection, which I have felt multiple times.
Yeah, I was going to say it's a cliche, but the idea that the rejection is just as important as the success and that what you learn from it. What we always say to our kids is like, what doesn't kill you make your... Well, we say two things. Let your freak flag fly.
Yes,
Very important. Tell Zozo. Is that your daughter, Zozo?
Yes.
Tell her. And then also, what doesn't kill you makes you stronger.
Yes.
I really believe in the struggle.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about King Kong on Broadway.
Yeah, that was wild.
Yeah.
That was a wild
That's like
ride.
you and a humongous puppet?
Yes.
Is that?
20 feet tall,
Similar to Two
2,000
Strangers,
tons.
isn't it?
Exactly the same.
King
Yeah.
Kong.
Yeah.
I
They're
know
the same person.
Yeah.
One's a bit smaller.
Yeah.
Kong, not
Yeah.
Google. That was wild. That was wild. That was like my first big job because I had done A Bronx Tale.
Yep.
I was in the original Broadway cast, but I covered.
Yes, you were.
Yes. But I covered the leading lady, and I played Denise, her friend, in the show. And
did you have a chance to go on as?
I did. So I was
good.
the first understudy to go on.
Great.
Terrifying.
Yeah, so
and
scary.
then I actually replaced her. She's one of our first cast members to go on.
Yeah.
She started another Broadway show, so I was able to replace her.
Is that how it works typically?
No.
And do you not call them understudies anymore?
You do. So they're different. Like there's understudies, there's standbys, there's swings. There's all sort of like different types of covers. Like for Two Strangers, we have standbys.
Yeah.
Because it's a two-hander, there's so much work to be done without the luxury of going on every day.
Yeah.
However, when you're on, you are 50% of the show.
Yeah.
It is insane what they do.
Yeah.
So that's like an abnormal thing. For Bronx Tale, I was an understudy along with another woman who was a swing and the understudy. I was told that was my first job, but I was told that it was not normal to take over for her. That normally they don't do that. So that was really cool.
That's amazing.
Yeah, that was like really, really cool. And then while I was doing that show, I auditioned for King Kong. And I remember when I got it, I was like, who did I get? Even though I auditioned for one person, I was like, well, who did I get?
Yeah.
Because I couldn't wrap my mind around like, y'all gonna let me lead this? Like I just got here. Like I was
Right.
I was terrified. I was so scared. But it was so much fun.
Oh.
It was very dangerous. It was very like I learned a lot.
Yeah.
I learned a lot. I was such a risk taker and I still am in a lot of ways, but at that point of my life, I didn't want to say no to anything.
Yeah.
I wanted to just try everything.
Yep.
Which was wonderful, I think, for some people, but a bit dangerous, I think, as well. And now I know that you could also be a risk taker, but you have to be smart. You have to be, you're doing this 8 shows a week. So, maybe climb in the back of it. You know what I mean? Like little things that I'm like, I probably wouldn't have done that.
Yeah.
But I was also 23 years old, so that was different,
It's also so crazy to think about you, like you weren't acting with another person.
No.
You were acting with a puppet.
I was, yeah. And
Which is probably like working with Sam.
exactly. This was all
In the
preparation.
sense that I am easily affected by your decisions.
Yeah.
I'm easily manipulated. Yeah.
Exactly. Pretty much. Yeah, he was not real. And when we rehearsed it, he was. It was a human being.
Yeah.
And then when we transferred to the theater, he was just massive. But, I mean, brilliant. It was like the best use of technology I've ever seen in my life. And he felt like a person.
Yeah.
Also, there were 8 people operating his body. So any moment that I couldn't connect with him because he was too tall, I couldn't see him, there were other people around that I could connect with.
Like,
yes.
yeah.
And it was really special. It was really cool to see how the technology catapulted itself onto theater. And to be honest with you, I don't think a lot of people were ready for it. I think people were really hard on it because of, why would you do this? There was a lot of like, why? Who asked for this? And some people did.
Yeah.
Some people wanted to see the limits that we could push.
I think, it sounds really cool.
It was crazy.
Yeah. Speaking of like understudies and standbys, did I read that like you were sick recently? I think I read on Reddit that
God. Oh.
It's out there.
Yeah. So that's so stressful. So that you're doing the play, which is this dance, this tennis match with somebody who you know, but who isn't Sam.
Yeah. But we're very lucky that our standbys, Vinny and Phoenix, they're sort of just...
You guys are always like, when I see pictures of you guys on social, is that the other two people that you're with?
There's no hierarchy. There's nothing. You know, we're just four idiots just backstage. You know what I mean? We had the most magical time in Boston, and it really reflects that. So whenever Phoenix was on as well, or for Robin, it was that we have our own thing going on in the same way that Vinny does with Christiani. So we're very lucky. Our luck doth not run out. Do you know what I mean? It's endless. It just is endless.
And is that typical? Like, they're there every single show.
Yeah.
They have to be backstage in costume?
No.
More just to observe, or the idea being like, if
it's
anything
insurance.
happens.
Yeah, it's exactly that. Yeah, exactly that. So if I back out or Christiani backs out, we just say we can't finish the show, then they'll be ready to go on.
Yeah.
It's a sort of standby.
Yeah.
That's where the name sort of comes from. They're ready, standing by.
Wow. Yeah. Just because it's just the two of you. It's also because it's just the two of you, I thought there was going to be no intermission. I'm like, they're clearly going to go right through.
Right.
And it's going to be short. We'll be out here in 2 hours. And I'm like,
there's the interval.
There's more story to be told. It's wild.
Yeah. And then I just assume, kind of obvious, but maybe not everyone knows this, like every night is probably completely different for you guys. Whether you're working on something different or whether it's just the audience, your third fellow actor is acting weird.
Yeah.
Is that hard? Like to feel like, why can't it be the same? Or is that what keeps it fresh?
Yeah.
That it is different every time.
I think sometimes it's hard because it's so exposing that you cannot help but to listen to the audience because we have to wait sometimes for you guys to respond. Yeah. And so if you're used to hearing something a certain way and you hear it differently, yes, it is hard sometimes, but I find it to be such a wonderful challenge. Like I feel like whatever
keeps you on your toes.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. Our writer always says the memory of a goldfish. Keep it pushing if something doesn't land or whatever. And I think that's really helpful because just for myself as a human being, this is life. Life is going to move and change. And are you going to sit and sort of wallow in it and be stuck and then miss the next moment? Like you can't really move that way.
There's no place for OCD there.
No,
because I know that I can get in my head and
drill,
and you cannot. You can't.
It moves too fast.
Be moving. Yeah, you have to always be moving.
Yeah.
Thank you guys so much for chatting with me today, Christiani and Sam. And I just want to say that you guys are my cherry pie.
Oh my God! Yes,
you're so welcome.
Thank you.
You're so welcome.
Thanks for coming.
This was really fun.
This was really fun.
Thank you guys. That's it for today's show. Don't forget to follow She's My Cherry Pie on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you listen. And tell your pals about us. She's My Cherry Pie is a production of the Cherry Bombe Podcast Network. Our producers are Carrie Diamond, Catherine Baker, and Jenna Sadu. Thank you so much for listening to She's My Cherry Pie. And happy baking!